General Hospital. Steve Burton, victim of sick, twisted lies. The truth behind the chaos. For nearly 3 decades, General Hospital fans have watched Steve Burton evolve from a young heartthrob to one of daytime television's most respected actors. His portrayal of Jason Morgan, a man of few words but unshakable loyalty, earned him legions of devoted fans, a daytime Emmy, and a place in soap opera history. But behind the quiet strength of the character and the glowing admiration from fans, there's now a storm brewing that has left both Steve and his supporters deeply unsettled. What started as whispers in the shadows of the entertainment world has grown into a wildfire of gossip, lies, and manipulation. A campaign of misinformation so vile that even the most jaded industry insiders are shaken. Steve Burton, a man known for his professionalism and humility, has suddenly found himself at the center of sick, twisted lies. And this time, it's not a script. From the moment Steve first appeared in Port Charles, it was clear he had something special. When Jason Quartermain's tragic accident transformed him into Jason Morgan, the stoic, lethal, yet heartbreakingly loyal enforcer for Sunny Corinthus, Burton found his creative home. Fans adored his chemistry with Laura Wright's Carly, his brotherly bond with Maurice Bernard's Sunny, and his complicated relationships with Sam, Elizabeth, and Robin. But what most fans don't realize is that off-screen, Steve was fighting to stay grounded amid the chaos of fame. While others chased after headlines, Steve quietly focused on his family, his faith, and his craft. Even after leaving General Hospital multiple times, he always returned with respect and gratitude, never burning bridges or indulging in drama. That's why this recent wave of cruel rumors has hit so hard. They strike at the very heart of who Steve Burton is, both as an actor and as a human being. It started innocently enough. A few anonymous posts online claiming sources had proof that Steve was difficult on set, or that he had demanded outrageous perks from production. Within hours, the stories snowballed into accusations about his personal life, his friendships, and even his integrity as a father and co-worker. One fabricated insider claimed that Burton's return to General Hospital in 2023 came with unrealistic ego-driven conditions, which every reliable source has since denied. Others spread distorted stories about his previous exit, twisting his personal beliefs into something ugly and divisive. The cruelest twist? A handful of fake accounts posing as friends of Steve started spreading doctored messages, edited videos, and claims that he had made offensive remarks about his castmates. None of it was true, but in the world of social media, truth often gets trampled by the noise of scandal. It wasn't long before hashtags started trending, and YouTube gossip channels latched onto the lies like sharks sensing blood in the water. Behind the stoic face that Jason Morgan wears, Steve Burton is human. Friends close to him had described this period as deeply painful. "He's a private guy," said one longtime GH crew member, "and to see people twisting his values, his kindness, and his reputation, it's not just unfair, it's cruel." For a man who has always let his work speak for itself, being forced to watch his name dragged through the mud was unbearable. Sources close to Burton say he withdrew from social media, avoided interviews, and focused instead on his children and close friends for support. "He's one of the most genuine people in this business," another insider revealed. "He doesn't play games, doesn't badmouth anyone, and yet here he is, targeted by people who don't even know him." If there's one thing stronger than soap opera drama, it's the loyalty of the General Hospital fanbase. Within days of the smear campaign starting, Steve's supporters mobilized online, flooding platforms with messages of love, old clips of his most iconic scenes, and reminders of his professionalism and kindness. They weren't just defending an actor, they were defending a man they felt they knew. #JusticeForSteve began trending, with thousands posting heartfelt messages. One fan wrote, "We've watched this man entertain us for 30 years. He's earned respect, not lies." Another added, "They can twist the story all they want, but they can't rewrite the truth. Steve Burton is class." In the midst of the chaos, it became clear, this wasn't just about rumors. This was about integrity, faith, and the dangerous power of social media to destroy reputations in seconds. In time, the truth began to surface. Several of the accounts spreading the lies were traced back to a single source, a disgruntled former associate who had been seeking attention after being cut off from Burton's professional circle. Screenshots emerged showing conversations where they admitted to making things up for engagement. Even so, the damage was done. Rumors, once unleashed, rarely die quickly. Steve's team issued a brief but powerful statement. "Steve Burton has always conducted himself with professionalism and respect. The false claims circulating online are deeply hurtful and completely untrue. We ask for compassion, truth, and respect for privacy.
The silence that followed was telling.
Those who had been loudest in spreading the lies suddenly went quiet, while fans continued to rally around their hero. What defines a person isn't the lies told about them, but how they rise above them.
And Steve Burton did just that.
Instead of lashing out or feeding into the negativity, he focused on what he loves most: storytelling. He poured himself into his role, delivering some of his best performances yet on General Hospital. The writers leaned into Jason's redemption arc, paralleling Steve's real-life strength and calm in the face of falsehood.
Viewers couldn't help but see the symbolism.
As Jason confronted betrayal and rebuilt trust in Port Charles, fans saw echoes of Steve confronting lies and reclaiming his truth. Art imitated life in the most poetic way possible. And through it all, Burton remained the same humble man he'd always been, greeting fans with a smile at conventions, expressing gratitude in every interview, and never speaking ill of anyone, even those who had wronged him. The entertainment industry, often ruthless and image-driven, took notice of the ordeal. Actors from other soaps, including The Young and the Restless and Days of Our Lives, privately and publicly expressed their support. Eric Martsolf, a friend and former co-star, reportedly texted Steve, "Hang in there, brother. Truth always wins." Maurice Bernard, known for his outspoken loyalty, dropped a subtle message on his podcast. "Sometimes people forget, behind the actor, there's a person. And the person deserves kindness." The ordeal sparked larger conversations in the daytime community about online toxicity and the dangers of misinformation. In an era where a single rumor can ruin a career overnight, Steve's experience became a cautionary tale and a call for empathy. What many fans love most about Steve Burton isn't just his acting, it's his faith and devotion to family. Even amid chaos, he continued posting about his kids, workouts, and spiritual strength. His calm wasn't an act, it was rooted in deep conviction that truth always rises to the surface. Friends say that while the lies hurt him deeply, they also reminded him of what truly matters. "He told me once," said a source close to Burton, "that storms reveal who's real in your life. The people who stayed by his side, those are the ones who'll always matter." For Steve, it's never been about fame or social media clout. It's about doing good work, inspiring others, and protecting what's sacred: his family, his values, and his faith. Months after the controversy erupted, something magical happened. General Hospital laid a scene between Jason and Carly that felt eerily symbolic. Jason told her, "You can't believe everything people say. The truth always finds its way home." Fans flooded social media with chills. It was as if Steve himself was speaking through Jason, reclaiming his narrative, one heartfelt line at a time. In interviews that followed, Steve chose his words carefully but powerfully. "I can't control what people say. I can only control how I live and how I treat others. That's where my peace comes from." And just like that, he reminded everyone why he's lasted so long in this industry, not because of luck, but because of strength, grace, and authenticity. This isn't just a Hollywood story, it's a human one. In a world obsessed with clicks, gossip, and instant outrage, Steve Burton's ordeal shows how easily truth can be buried under lies. But it also shows something stronger: resilience. The ability to hold your head high when the world tries to pull you down. Fans learned, too, to question what they read, to protect those they admire, and to understand that real people live behind the headlines. And Steve? He proved that dignity speaks louder than rumors. As General Hospital moves forward, Jason Morgan's storyline mirrors his portrayal's resilience. The once broken, stoic enforcer is now a man rediscovering purpose, connection, and truth. Writers have hinted that the new arc will explore Jason's past, redemption, and the emotional cost of loyalty, a perfect reflection of the strength Burton has shown in real life. Behind the scenes, insiders say the atmosphere on set is stronger than ever. Burton has become a quiet mentor, often uplifting younger cast members, reminding them to focus on the work and tune out the noise. "Steve sets the tone," said one producer. "He doesn't let negativity win. That's leadership." When the final credits roll one day, Steve Burton's legacy will not be the falsehoods told about him, but the truth he lived. He will be remembered for redefining what it means to be a leading man, not just with muscles and menace, but with heart, integrity, and unshakable calm. For 3 decades, he's given fans moments of hope, heartbreak, and heroism. But perhaps his greatest performance has been off-screen, rising above hatred and proving that light always outshines lies. When you strip away the headlines, the gossip, and the chaos, what remains is a man, one who has dedicated his life to entertaining millions, inspiring others through faith, and walking in truth even when it hurts.
Steve Burton isn't a victim.
He's a survivor of sick, twisted lies, and a testament to the power of truth. As the noise fades and the cameras roll on, the message is clear.
No rumor can destroy a man built on truth.
And in the hearts of General Hospital fans everywhere, Steve Burton remains exactly who he's always been, the hero we trust, both on screen and off. In the words of one fan post that went viral after the ordeal,
they tried to break him with lies.
Instead, they reminded the world who he really is, a good man, a great actor, and someone who will always rise again. Steve Burton has weathered storms before, but this one has proven something powerful. No matter how dark the world gets, truth doesn't just survive.
It shines.